Founded in 2011, the Rosamunda Summer Music Academy has provided string players of all ages and skill levels the opportunity to spend up to 10 days working at their craft in an idyllic and nurturing setting. To tell us more about Rosamunda, I'm joined by Elation, Rosamunda's artistic director, and Liane Fonseca, Rosamunda alumna and participant in this year's festival. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
And just before we get to talking a little bit, you guys are also going to be performing.
And now from our studios in downtown Winnipeg, it's time for 107 Live.
Bit of live Bach on a Monday morning. You just heard the first movement to the Bach Double Concerto, Hold the Orchestra. That was a live performance by Elation and Liane Fonseca, who both joined me in the studio this morning to talk about the Rosamunda Summer Music Academy. Good morning again.
Good morning.
Well, Elation, what a pleasure to have you back here in the studio to talk about Rosamunda. Just before we get to you, I was wondering if we could start with Liane this morning.
Sure.
Welcome back to Classic 107. I know it's been a while since you've been here, Liane.
Yes.
And you're a Rosamunda alumna returning this year. How many times have you participated in the festival?
I have been in Rosamund since, I think, 4 years ago. Yeah.
So this is my 4th year, actually. Yeah,
And
this summer.
so what's special to you about Rosamunde to keep returning year after year?
Well, Rosamond, honestly, it just feels like home by now. It's, of course, since I've lived in Winnipeg my whole life, then like it's the whole music community that I've grown up with. But as well, the community is just really great, and it's every student gets like attention on them individually, and we really feel like we can grow a lot as individual students and also in groups, which is great.
Well, I mean, you study with Elation, who's here with us in the studio, and you just perform with your teacher. What's that like?
Well, it's pretty fun. I mean, Elation's been my teacher for 3 years, so now I'm moving away this fall, so now she's going to be more like a colleague, I guess. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no kidding. That's always a very special moment.
Yeah.
And then, but one of the big things about Rosamunde is it's not just working with your teacher, who's a very stellar musician here in town, but also this distinguished faculty. Do you have any special memories that come to mind when you think of Rosamunde with past people you've performed, be they guest instructors or maybe some of the players who have been here in town, some of the fellow participants?
Yes, definitely. Actually, the first one that came to mind was once I had a master class, I think 2 years ago with Ian Swenson, and I remember that just like blew my mind, and I had this amazing like, whoa, because I think I was playing the Summer Concerto by Vivaldi, and then he started playing like the orchestral part while I was playing, and then I was just like, whoa, this is really cool. And yeah, it was just really cool to hear the perspectives from all the different faculty that come, and yeah.
That's always a nice thing about music is that there's always a new perspective that people can explore. Yeah. Let's swing the mic over to Elation here, over to your teacher. Elation, you were last in a year ago, and I was listening to the interview before you came in this morning, and you talked about how the program's developed since 2011, from a 5-day to a 10-day with more faculty, guest artists, students from abroad.
Yeah.
What can people look forward to this year at the Summer Music Academy?
Well, there's so much. I mean, you're right. It's really developed. This year, we actually have the most students in our core program ever. So there's 45 full-time students in that program. And then we have Rosamunde people playing who are adult amateurs. So there's 14 of those. And there are also 17 mini Rosies. And we have a portion of students coming from the Sistema program as well. So there's 7 coming to the Mini Rosie program, and there's actually 1 student in the Sistema program who's going to attend the core program this year for the first time. So that's development of Rosamunde, but also the development of the string community in Winnipeg. And we also have a number of students coming to us from Regina this year, which is really exciting. So it's a total of about 80 students, and then there's 20 faculty. So there's going to be 100 people on the CMU campus all at once going about their daily schedules, which is insane to coordinate. I've got spreadsheets and lists and like...
Spreadsheets for your spreadsheets.
Yeah,
it's one of those. But I mean, I think it speaks to... why this is so important. If it's growing every year, and 80 is, well, I mean, last time I think it was about 75 or so students all in. And to have it growing every year, obviously there's a very big importance for this, for young string players and for adult amateurs as well. To you, what's the most important part of Rosamunde, the Summer Music Academy?
For me, what it's really all about is connecting people to people. It's you see the little kids come in, they get to play in chamber music for the first time. They get to play in orchestra for the first time, and it really just expands their soundscape. And they get to meet kids doing what they're doing. You know, they get at every level, they get to meet people doing what they're doing. And also, when we have our guests, it gives them a chance to have that exposure to the outside musical community and maybe meet their future professor at Rosamunde, like if it's something that they decide to pursue as a career. It gives them that chance to meet the next step, like get to the next part of their journey in an environment that's really comfortable for them. So often as a young music student, you have to go elsewhere, and then you're not in your comfort zone anymore. And there are a lot of factors that can be, challenging. Whereas in this setting, for people like Liane, they are happy there, they're comfortable there. It's a beautiful building at CMU, and they get to meet these people in that type of environment. So yeah.
Oh, it's all about people meeting people and making those connections, like you're saying. In terms of making connections, there is another outstanding cast of faculty, including fellow WSO musicians of yours, and as well as guest artists. Can you speak to some of the guest artists coming to town this year?
Yeah, well, it's just so exciting to have people like Andrew Wong and Aria Barnes coming. We also have Liane Zacharias coming in from Brandon this year. And Rennie Regier is now a local because he's returned to Winnipeg after many years of being in Ontario. I met him first in Toronto and then he was in Ottawa. So yeah, it's a really lovely group coming in. You'll be having Aria Barnes and Andrew Wong on Classic 107 later on this week. So you'll get to meet.
Very excited about that.
Yeah. So yeah, Ariel's coming in tonight and Andrew tomorrow. So yeah.
And when the faculty arrive, this distinguished guest faculty from abroad or from here in town or from within the province, not only are they kind of guest instructing, but they're also performing, right? Because there is the festival component to the Summer Music Academy. This year's festival is titled Checkmates. I wonder who the composers might be, but can you fill us in a little bit?
Sure, yeah. Well, Dvorak, of course, and Suk and Smetana. And actually, Martineau has a really cool piece on Sunday afternoon that Gwen and Dan are going to play. It's called Three Madrigals for Violin and Viola, and there's some ragtime in there, and it's really a really beautiful piece. We also have Fran Lotka, who's another Czech composer, not well known, but his son apparently was the ballet master of the RWB at one point. And so I got this piece of music from Jan Kochman at work, and it was given to him directly from Nanad, Fran's son. And he's performed it on flute, but I don't think it's ever been performed on violin before. So Carl's going to play that on Sunday. But on Friday night, Andrew Wong is leading the sextet in Dvorak's string sextet in A major. And that's just a really beautiful summertime piece. Like, it's got lots of slow lyrical stuff and a bit of elegy with the dumka and some exciting fireworks at the end too. So yeah, it's a really exciting set of 3 concerts, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So yeah, Ariel is playing on Saturday in the beautiful Smetana piano trio with Daryl. And that's Liane. What is he playing? He's playing the Suk piano quartet in A minor. So yeah, there are a lot of barn burners in this, and then some other also lesser known works that are really worth getting to know. Amy Beach, Leanne's going to play.
Tower in there too.
Yeah, Joan Tower. That's a really expansive. You can just see the big sky that it's describing. It's really picturesque.
Oh, well, there's lots to look forward to. I mean, it sounds like there's going to be 10 very, very, very busy days of music making going on at CMU.
It's packed.
Four concerts. Most of them take place in the Laudamos Auditorium and Great Hall as well. People are looking for tickets. Where should they go?
They can go to our website, rosamunde.ca/festival, or just the main page. There's a link to the series, and you can buy tickets right there. If you buy them ahead of time, then there is a slight discount, which I know all Winnipeggers love. But you can also get them at the door. There's a pass. That's probably the best deal. That's for $50. That gets you into all 3. And we're having local composer David Scott a piece of his as well on the first night, so I'm hoping he'll be there, and it's going to be a fun time. Yeah,
lots of great musical memories to come. Thank you both so much for coming in this morning. The last thing I want to ask you about are these beautiful necklaces you're both wearing here in the studio. These Forte necklaces. Might those have something to do with Rosamunde this year?
They do indeed. Yeah. It also goes well with the F from Classic 107 FM. But
there it is.
It's the Forte symbol of strength. That is Hilary Drucksmann's necklace, also in support of Rosamunde. So yeah, we've enjoyed wearing them numerous occasions, and Liane had her grad photo taken with it on.
Ah, so nice. So nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much for coming in this morning. We are going to close out this interview with some playing of Andrew Wong with Charles Richard Amelin at the piano. Together they perform the Violin Sonata number 8 in G major. This is the final movement to the Beethoven.